With me traveling to Spain and walking the Camino de Santiago and backpacking Europe in less than 3 months, I'm gonna see how well I can learn Spanish and try and become conversational in 7 days. At the end of the 7 days, I'm gonna talk to a fluent Spanish-speaking teacher and have them rate me on how well I learned Spanish. Okay, so you are probably asking yourself, how am I gonna learn Spanish in a week? So basically, I'm going to do 3 goals every single day that I need to complete. The first one, I'm going to try and do a Lingota class every day for at least 5 days this week. I would do more, but I'm trying to get my cash back on Lingota. And for the guidelines of the sprint that I'm doing, I have to only do 5 days. I can't go over that or I won't get some cash back. And then I am also going to watch at least 30 minutes of Spanish TV, books, YouTube, anything like that where I have to listen to it. I feel like that's kind of like more important when you're trying to become conversational. I feel like you actually need to listen to the language. And then any of those words that I don't know that I hear really frequently, I'm going to add them to my flashcard deck. Which leads me to the last of my 3 goals, which is 30 minutes of flashcards a day. So basically, I'm just going to go through the most common Spanish words. Anytime I hear a word really frequently that I don't know, I'm just going to add it to my flashcard deck. And then to stay accountable every single day, I am going to have my brother, ask me these questions every single day and fill this out. And then if I don't complete the challenge, if I don't do any, if I miss one of these things, then he's going to sign me up to donate my plasma. I'm, pathetically scared of needles, so I feel like this is a really good motivation for me to actually practice my Spanish every day. Turns out for the Lingota course, I only get 1 class, and then I will receive another group class in 24 days, so, oh my god, I didn't realize that. That actually sucks so much. Okay, so I canceled that subscription before they charged me. But now I'm gonna see, I think I'm just gonna book group classes, and I think they'll give me the credit more immediately. Yes, I did it. I have 12 group credits, so I could do a Lingota class every single day this week, and I will be fine. So I'm gonna change that spreadsheet to doing a Lingota class every day. I booked my class, and now I'm just gonna set a 30-minute timer and start going over some of the flashcards that they have before the class. It is 5:27. And I have about 30 minutes until my class starts, and I've only done 20 minutes of Spanish today. So I'm so scared of not knowing anything and then being called on. There's only 2 people in my class when I signed up today, so I'm very scared. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna write down a list of phrases, and hopefully this goes well. I'm also just gonna go over what they told me to go over. They have flashcards that you can memorize before for the lesson that you're doing. So I'm gonna go on Lingota's flashcards for that lesson. Okay, so I just finished my first Spanish lesson, and little did I know I was jumping into one of the way harder courses of Spanish. So there's the orientation courses, and I basically jumped into one of the much harder ones. So I'm probably gonna go to an orientation class next. That was a very hard lesson of Spanish, but the girl I had was so sweet. Everybody in the lesson was very nice, and they helped me understand it, even though I barely knew any Spanish. So it was still really good. I still learned a good bit, but I definitely should have went with an easier class than the one that I booked. After my class, I went really hard on the Lingota flashcards, and I did practice a little bit of the Quizlet flashcards, but mainly the Lingota flashcards, so I was ready for my next class. And then I started watching a bunch of Mr. Beast Spanish videos. I at least knew Mr. Beast, so I thought it was a lot easier to understand since he was a YouTuber I already knew. But up until day 3 or 4, I didn't know that I could put subtitles in English. Then on day 2, I just sat in the coffee shop for 3 hours and went through flashcards and also did a lot of homework because I had a lot of homework. I was so sad that I had to sit there when it was 72 degrees outside, and I was just inside doing homework. Okay, so I just got out of the coffee shop that I was studying in. I was gonna study Spanish, but I have 2 freaking tests tomorrow, so I studied for that. I'm probably gonna go home, finish the rest of my homework, study a little bit more. I only studied for, the psychology test that I have. But, oh my god. I just have so much homework tonight, so I'm definitely gonna do my Spanish still, but I did not book a class for tonight. Because, basically, there wasn't only an orientation class, and I wasn't gonna waste one of my class credits on an orientation class. So I'm gonna dedicate the hour that I normally spend doing that class to flashcards instead. So instead of doing a half hour of flashcards, I'll do an hour and a half of flashcards, because I feel like that's like a better use of my time than going to the class. So I feel like that will teach me more. Anyways, oh yeah, when I was in the coffee shop, there was this like old couple in there, and this old man, it bothered me so much. He talks so badly about his wife. Like, I have a video, I hope I caught it on video, like in the background, because I was already filming something.
English needs to come out of your mouth.
And then he'd be like, oh, she's always like that, to the lady making, the barista making the coffee. Like, it makes me so mad when, like, people, like, girls too, like, any person says that about, like, the person they're in a relationship with. Like, that's so terrible. Like, why would you treat your wife like that? Like, he was so degrading to her the whole time. I guess she had problems getting up, and he was so mean to her about that too. I really hope I caught it on camera, but oh my god, that guy was brutal in there in the background while I was doing my homework. I'm doing it before, okay. So basically, I have to do some flashcards before my thing tomorrow, but it's like 7 o'clock and I haven't even started to do my Spanish. My mom also really wants to join me doing my Spanish. She really made an appearance in the last vlog, and she really made an appearance in the last vlog. She's in another one. So now I'm gonna try and do like an hour and a half of these flashcards, because I really don't want to be embarrassed in my first class. So I'm gonna start practicing. There's like 54 terms, so I'm gonna do this. I booked a class for tomorrow because that was the only one I could schedule. Anyways, that's it. She really wanted to be she really wanted to practice with me. She's been doing a lot of Duolingo. Oh, and here's Friday. Look, it's Friday again. We got the fam is all here. Oh my goodness, look, it's Friday. It is Friday. Or más despacito. Por favor. Oh, más despacio. Okay, it took me like 33 minutes and a large break, but I know these 54 vocabulary terms. It took me like 35 minutes, so I'm gonna go back through them one more time and make sure I understand it before the lesson tomorrow. I just watched some YouTube in Spanish, but I just realized you could put on English subtitles. Like, that's such a game changer. I didn't even realize I could do that on YouTube, so I was just watching it in Spanish subtitles. But after I figured out I could do it in English, it was a lot easier to understand. Day 2, I really hit the ground running by booking 2 Lingota classes, and then I had a long bus ride, so I studied about an hour of flashcards. Okay, so I practiced my flashcards, I did everything, and now I am going to take my class. It's like 4:58, so this is just like the actual introduction class that I probably should have took 2 days ago. So I think I am prepared for this one, so I'm going to join the class. Okay, that class was a little bit more up to my speed. I just finished at 6 o'clock. Yeah, so we just basically practiced some like very basic greetings and like how to say bye and how to basically ask questions in Spanish. And it's so hard. The moment you go to say anything, like you immediately forget what the word is for it. I don't know any verbs. I feel like that's what I was really lacking in that class. I feel like if I would have known more verbs, that would have been really helpful. So I think I'm just gonna go through and study a bunch of verbs. Okay, so now I'm just so tired. I don't want to keep going. I'm so tired right now. I have a class in an hour, and I probably should preview the material beforehand. So I know I should probably get up. I took a little bit of like a 15-minute break, but I'm so tired right now, and I don't want to go do the material. I kind of just want to get like a snack and maybe take a nap, but I booked the class, so I gotta get up. I did go to that class, but I forgot to get any video on it, so my bad, guys. I keep trying to type things on my keyboard, but it's so frustrating because I changed the keyboard so it has Spanish letters. So now where the L used to be, there's an N, so I have an extra letter on my keyboard. So I don't know, like I keep hitting the letter. Instead of hitting L's, I hit N's, and it's so frustrating because I keep typing the wrong word. Day 4, I really focused on learning my numbers, letters, and colors because I realized I actually did not know any of those basic things that most of us learn in Spanish class. I also studied some basic Spanish terms and just went to a class on spelling. Okay, so I just got back from my friend's house. We did something for St. Patrick's Day. It's about 1 in the morning and I still need to shower, brush my teeth, and then go to my 8 a.m. class tomorrow. But the issue is we're doing like a whole new vocabulary set, so I have to probably get up like 2 hours before the 8 a.m. to practice the flashcards, so I'll probably get up at like 6:20 tomorrow. So I'm gonna try and quickly take the shower so that I can get to bed. Things really started coming crashing down for me on day 5. I started by sleeping in through my 8 a.m. class. So the vibes were a little bit low. I can't find my computer. And so now I probably am just going to practice flashcards on my phone. But I can't book any classes. And I use that computer for school. It's like 6 p.m. and I haven't done any Spanish today. So... Okay, so my Wi-Fi also stopped working, so I couldn't do flashcards. Then in the second part of day 5, things started going a lot better for me. I spent like 5 minutes messing around with it, and I got my Wi-Fi to work, so I'm gonna practice at least 30 minutes of flashcards now, and then maybe I'll take a nap. I found the almighty computer. It was under the seat of my car. So now I'm gonna get my homework done, and I'm gonna practice a little bit of Spanish. Back on the grind again. I just studied a bunch of verbs, and now I actually got some studying done today, which I was a little worried that I wouldn't be able to. Let's say it is 5 a.m. right now, and I will wait to go take a class in an hour, so I gotta get ready for school and then go take the class. This is a little bit of proof that it is actually 5 a.m. right now. So I went to my second class of the day around 5 p.m., and this is proof that I've actually been going to the classes. I know I haven't filmed me actually like attending any of the classes. So this is me actually in a class.
Es una isla muy pequeñita.
Okay, so it is day 6 of me studying Spanish for a week and trying to become conversational or fluent. And I am gonna be honest, I'm almost at the end here, and I do not feel like I am conversational as or fluent in Spanish. And I'm gonna be honest, that kind of sucks. Like, I feel better now. I've been, like, doing as much as I can to get as good as Spanish in the time that I have, so I guess I feel a little better now after studying some more Spanish. Like, I understand, like, 70% of the words in Spanish, but I'm not quite conversational yet. Like, I know I'm gonna have to, like, see how much progress I made, and I feel like in a week, that's still a lot of progress, but it's a little frustrating considering that I've been doing this for 2 hours a day. I've went to 7 classes, no, I skipped 1. So 7 classes, that's 7 hours of classes this week to learn Spanish. I'll probably even go to another class tomorrow just to touch up a little bit. I've studied so many flashcards. I've watched a bunch of YouTube in Spanish, and I know I could have done more, but I'm glad that I didn't stop living my life to just study Spanish in my room all day. I probably would have been a lot further. It's just a little frustrating, even though I made so much progress. Like, I feel like I spent so much time on it, and I'm still not, like, super conversational. I probably could have a 5-minute conversation in Spanish with the basics, like, I'm good, how are you, what's your name, what do you do for work, where are you from? Like, that's pretty much all I could do. When we're putting breakout rooms in our classes, that's like all I could do. So that's my one takeaway. On a more positive note, okay, hold on, let me sit you down for my second takeaway. I just want to say that I think I am getting rizzed up after reading some of these tandem messages. Specifically, only one tandem message by Ismael, who texted me, "Hello, girl. How are you?" Probably that is just a language difference, but I think it's so funny because it sounds like he's trying to, like, do a pickup line or something. I don't know. Okay, I did end up on Tandem for a while. This is post-production Leah here, and I just wanted to go over this because I didn't really talk about it that much. But I did end up texting some Spanish speakers on an app called Tandem, which I talked about. So I ended up talking to Alan, who actually left me a review, and he left me a very passive-aggressive review. He said, Leah is a very special girl, but please be patient with her because she is still learning Spanish, and she has a good sense of humor. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. He's very sweet. Alan was very sweet, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I appreciated his review very much. Okay, so the only slot that was open on Thursday was the 11 p.m. slot. So I booked a class for 11 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm gonna be very tired. Okay, so right now, this is my last day of doing this challenge. I'm gonna sit in a coffee shop maybe for at least like 2 hours and grind out some more Spanish. So this is my last day, but I don't have a class today. I was gonna see what a native Spanish speaker thought of my Spanish speaking. But now, since it's at 11 o'clock, I plan on this still being my last day. I'm not going to practice any more Spanish tomorrow. So whatever I learn now, I'm not going to practice anything tomorrow. So it will actually be a week, but I'm just going to go in tomorrow and see how it goes. So this is my last day that I'm able to practice Spanish because I'm not going to practice anymore tomorrow. Okay, I have to talk really quietly because people in my house are sleeping. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little nervous about this Zoom call. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this. But yeah, I feel like I just put so much effort and so much time and like all of my energy into this one thing this week. So I feel like if it goes bad, I'm just gonna be really sad. Like, I'll be so disappointed. It feels like I have a big test coming up and I really want to do well. Like, that's what I feel like right now. I feel like when I just put so much energy into this that I just really want to succeed. So I know I said I wouldn't do any practicing today, but I will, like, just go over a couple basic phrases before I have this Zoom call. Okay, time for the part of the video that everybody actually wants to know about, which is, was I conversational in Spanish? Kind of. I was able to introduce myself in Spanish and say where I was from.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, cansado, pero, muy bien. But I had a hard time understanding whenever she took the conversation further than that. I was able to understand when she wrote stuff down on a piece of paper. So I was conversational to the extent that if they talked very slowly and probably wrote some stuff down, I would be able to understand them. But I would say it was a long shot to say that I was fluent in Spanish.
Bueno, vamos con la siguiente.
¿Puedes repetir?
Ajá, sí. ¿A qué te dedicas?
Okay.
¿A qué te dedicas tú?
What? During the conversation, I got really confused whenever she asked me the question, did I have a boyfriend? And I said yes on accident, not really understanding the question. And so she was asking if my boyfriend, I think, was from Latin America. I really was confused at this part of the conversation.
Latino.
Oh, new to Latin. So there was definitely points in the conversation where I was very, very confused. So, was I fluent in Spanish? No, not by a long shot. Was I able to hold a conversation? I was somewhat able to. I'd probably be able to go into a coffee shop and hold my own. So, to say this week was a waste would be a lie, but I definitely think it's a lot of effort to learn a language. I did spend a lot of time learning this, and I learned a lot. You do learn a lot when in your first week of learning a language. So I would say definitely you could try this challenge on your own and you'll still learn a lot. But I would say give yourself more time than 1 week to learn a language. So that's my takeaway from this video.